Hello! In this video, we will see how to use the query area module. The query area module lets you filter specific map features based on a given set of constraints or parameters. For example, for Latacunga, we can query which crop areas would be most affected in the situation of a lahar flow when the volcano erupts. A word of caution. You will need some information or background knowledge of the data to use this module. Let's start. Select Query Area from the Module section and click on Run. Next, you'll be asked to choose a map layer that you want to query. In my case, I would like to choose and find out which parts of the city are most vulnerable. So I'm going to click here. If you want more information on the specific layer, then you can click on Show Attributes. When you click on Show Attributes, it's going to open up a table where you can see what the layer contains. Now, depending on the size and what is contained in the layer, it may take some time. As you can see this table now, this is the table description for this layer that I chose, and you can see a list of what this contains. In my case, I'm going to choose this because it's the vulnerability index here, the minimum value of which is 1.5 and the maximum is 4.8. I'm going to choose the layer and click on Submit. Again, depending on the layer that you chose, the processing can take some time. Next, you will be asked to build your query. You can choose between query attribute and then a specific value for this attribute. In my case, I'm going to choose vulnerable, and you can automatically see that there's a minimum and maximum value, which you also saw when I opened the Show Attributes table. If you want, you can also add another section here using the AND or command, depending on whether you want to consider two values or consider an exception. So if I choose AND, I could choose, for example, 1.5 and 2.5, and I can again choose the same value and write 3.8 and 4.8. However, in this case, I would simply add one parameter where I choose 3.8 and 4.8 to understand which is the most vulnerable part, and I click on OK. The output is ready. In order to see it, you can click on Results and scroll down to the most recent query result PDF. You will see that there's some text file, there's some text information here, and at the very bottom you'll also find the map. So in this map you can see which areas in the city have a very high vulnerability index, or to be more specific, which have a vulnerability index between 3.8 and 4.8. The values that you see here in each block, for example, this block pertains to one specific polygon here. These values can be used by you to understand not just the vulnerability index of a specific polygon, which you can see in the last column here with the value that I had chosen, which was vulnerable 3.8, but you can also see the information of the other parts of this specific polygon. So if you know what the data is, you will automatically know and see what values they contain. This is all for the query module. However, in case you want to add your own layer, there is one step that was not mentioned here. You can go to Settings, Add Layer, choose a file with a specific format, and click on Submit. Now when you do that, you will also be asked to rename the layer. So remember that you cannot have any gaps or any space in this name. You can add, however, letters, numbers and underscore symbols. and then you have to click submit, and then you basically have to do what was shown in the video. So you have to just choose this specific layer from the list that will come up when you run the query area module. The results will be displayed like you saw, and if you want to get an overview of the workflow for this module, please refer to section 6.2 of the user manual.